Well, this is something interesting Paulie brought up earlier this morning before the show started. He said, we have an NIL situation with UNLV. Now, I immediately thought basketball, but UNLV basketball is not relevant. And it turns out it's football. It's the starting quarterback, Matthew Sluka. He's leaving the school, and he's citing certain representations not being upheld by the program. He said he committed to UNLV based on certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled. And he posted this on X. Despite discussions, it became clear these commitments would not be fulfilled in the future. I wish my teammates the best of luck this season and hope for continued success of the program. I think UNLV is ranked in the top 25, Paulie?
Yeah, UNLV is off to a 3-0 start. He's a pretty good quarterback. He's more of a run first, pass second quarterback. He played 4 years at Holy Cross. We actually talked about him in the show because he raised up Holy Cross football. He transfers to UNLV, has an NIL deal there. He has to leave before Game 4 to keep that redshirt eligibility year for next year. So he's clearly going to go in the portal and transfer again. There's some mixed reports out there whether he was not paid what he was promised in his NIL deal. Some reporters, college reporters, are saying he went in to renegotiate midseason, which we, again, to be fair to this young man, we don't know that. There's mixed reports whether he was not paid fairly or everything was not paid to him, or after going 3-0, he realized his value and went in for a renegotiation session. So,
but this is saying that certain representations were not made to me, not upheld after I enrolled. That doesn't sound like a renegotiation.
Correct.
But I wonder what is in writing. Do we have contracts with NIL that says this is what you're getting, this is what you're getting this year? I guess if you have incentives in there for NIL, I mean, I don't know. Do they have a standardized contract for NIL?
Yeah.
And if they don't, why don't they?
They're hard to find any public records of NIL. The deals are all approved by the NCAA, but you can't see them. One thing is, whatever your NIL deal is, some of the websites are reporting, doesn't prevent you from entering the portal at some point. So it's almost like you don't necessarily have to uphold your end of the bargain on NIL, the player.
Yeah, but did the school have to? Why doesn't the NCAA have a standardized NIL contract for players? Now, the language is different, but have something that's standardized that can the school go and get money from him if he's leaving, if they paid him money? How much money did they pay him? Like, it's still the wild, wild west here. Yes, Heaton.
But the very, beginning is you're not supposed to recruit based on NIL, correct? Isn't that the way that this is all supposed to work? You're not supposed to use NIL as recruiting. So I committed to UNLV based on certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled.
But he doesn't talk about, he's vague.
Well, he's but
vague.
What are those representations? I thought the locker room was going to be better? No. I thought
I got a better parking
I don't
spot?
know, playing time?
It's also unclear whether he clearly would have some type of NIL deal in writing, because you have to, with your athletic department that goes to the NCAA. That said, I wonder if he had a agreement that if I overachieve this year, I will get a boost, a raise, like a gentleman's agreement. They are 3-0. He's playing well. UNLV.
Yeah, but I would ask him. I would say, wait, tell me what was promised to you since you are transferring here. You're vague. Let me find out exactly what happened here. So, I don't know. Let's see if we can get Matt Sluka on and answer these questions. Were you promised things? Was it in writing? They're not supposed to recruit you with the promise of benefits. At least that's what we're told. Yes, Heaton.
Despite discussions, it became clear these commitments would not be fulfilled in the future. What does that mean? What are the commitments?
That's what I want to know.
What are the commitments?
Matt, I know it's a band or it's a movie called The Commitments, but what are the commitments here? What did they promise you?
And when did they promise you it?
Yes, Todd.
Unless he doesn't care about reputation, it's a really bad look. He almost has to be less vague because a lot of us will jump to conclusions. What a jerk. You're on this team. How could you let down your fans and your teammates like this and you're just leaving? Unless we know a little more than he's shared so far, he doesn't look good with this whole situation at all.
Well, everybody's out for themselves. This is his last paycheck, this last payday, because he's, fifth-year senior? Yeah, Paulie.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is not a pro prospect. He will get paid one last NIL deal. He can get a 6th year of eligibility by not playing in Game 4 against Fresno State. He gets the redshirt year, which used to be medical. Now it's just whatever you want to use it for.
Yeah. Well, it used to be the hardship draft in the NBA.
Right.
And then they're like, this sounds silly.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not going to use that silly term. Yes, Marvin.
Does this hurt him going forward when he's trying to go to another school?
Well, I'd like to know what the promises are when he goes to that next school. Is it going to be in writing? I mean, I'd love to have him on to find out, hey, what were the promises here? I mean, let's be transparent. Yes, Paulie.
By the way, we can't overlook the fact that this kid transferred from Holy Cross to UNLV. You talk about a cultural shift. You're playing at a FCS school in the middle of nowhere, Holy Cross, and then you switch to UNLV. That must be a wild change of lifestyle.
All right, I just saw this. This is from Pete Thamel, and has to do with this UNLV quarterback, Matthew Sluka. So he's decided that he didn't get what he was supposed to get at UNLV, that they were promising him things. His representation, his NIL representation, Equity Sports, told ESPN that he was verbally promised a minimum of $100,000 from a UNLV assistant coach for transferring there. None of the money was paid, and he enrolled there, and there was no effort by UNLV's collective to formalize a contract at that amount. And months after he enrolled, they made multiple efforts with the staff and school to address the issue. I guess he got a $3,000 relocation stipend for the move, and he was getting $3,000 per month for the next 4 months. So they're shy about $88,000 on what UNLV had promised him. So that's the other side of this. See, this is where it's dirty. Let's not kid anybody. Hey, do you want to transfer here? What are you going to pay me? We're going to pay you $100,000. This is a kid who came from Holy Cross, where he probably wasn't making anything there, and now you go to UNLV. You're the quarterback, team's undefeated, and he's wanting to get his money. So whether he went in to renegotiate or he's trying to negotiate what you promised him, even though you're not supposed to promise athletes money with the collective. Like, it's all a cesspool. How about just contracts here? All right? Standardized contract. University must pay you this. So you have to go and transfer in good faith. He has to go to UNLV and believe that they're going to pay him what they promised him. And I'm sure nothing's in writing. It's all, hey, here's an assistant coach saying he'll give me $100,000 if I go to UNLV. Well, you get there. All right, now what are you going to do? You're going to transfer? You're winning. You're undefeated. You're going to transfer? Now, I don't know if that's the case. But if you're promising $100,000, you go there. You're starting. Your team's undefeated. Why am I not getting my money? What is the reason behind that? And if it starts to, now it's already out. If you're thinking about going to UNLV, you might think again, are they going to pay me when I get there? And you're not supposed to use this as an enticement to recruit, which is laughable. But until they make it official, above board, everything's transparent, here's the contract, you're going to pay taxes on this, like all of these things. You're going to have these loopholes here where athletes get taken advantage of.